सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। So in the last class, we have been discussing the topic, what happens to people who don't surrender because they don't have faith in God. What happens to them? So first of all, we were discussing why they find it difficult to surrender the ego. Why normally in us surrendering the ego is so difficult? It is difficult because in our experience we find, especially when we superficially analyze our experiences, in this analysis we find that whenever our ego is expanded, we find a joy, and whenever our ego is crushed, we find pain. This is our common experience. So therefore it is but natural when we analyze our experiences and come to some conclusion without the guidance of the scriptures, without attending satsangs, without coming in the company of saints and sages, it is but natural that we may come to this wrong conclusion that boosting the ego is the way to happiness. So for such a person, he may come to this conclusion that ego's existence is my existence, ego's expansion is my happiness, ego's contraction is my sorrow, and ego's surrender is my death, my non-existence. So since ego is my everything, so I must try everything to boost my ego, to expand my ego. And whenever there is this expansion of ego, there is joy. So it is but a natural tendency in us not to surrender but to expand the ego. Now how do we try to expand the ego? Ego is nothing but ahankara and mamakara. Aham plus mama together becomes the ego. So if I can expand the aham and mama, ego will be expanded. How to expand aham? with awards and rewards, with degrees and qualifications, with medals, with power and position, because they all give some label in front of my name. So I start feeling important in my own eyes. I become a special somebody. So through all this, I expand my aham. And how do I expand my mama? Mama means mine. Aham means I. So I and mine. Aham and mama. How do I try to expand my mama? Mama means mine. So my possession, my influence. So holding on to the world, I expand my mama. The worldly possessions, the worldly influence, they expand my mama. So this way, by expanding ahankara and mamakara, I expand my ego. And every time the ego is expanded, there is a joy. So I tend to think that this is the right way of living. So such a person will be a very ambitious person. He will have lot of ambitions. He will have lot of desires. So therefore such a person will not be living in the present. He will be always planning for the future. If I get this or that, I will be happy. If I become this or that, I will be happy. Becoming this or that is expansion of aham. Getting this or that is the expansion of mama. So all the time he is thinking of how to become this or that, how to get this or that. So that is why in Sanskrit, this trying to become this or that is called as bhavasagara, becoming, an ocean of becoming. Because every time you become, you are not happy, you feel that you should become something more. The desire goes on from one birth to another, from one body to another, from birth to birth. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam continues with this desire. Ambitions continue, it doesn't stop. This person becomes a highly ambitious person. And he creates a bhavasagara for himself. Now the question is, will he be happy going from one world to the other? Will there come a time when he will say, enough? Unfortunately, such a time will never come. Why it will never come? It will never come because what actually he is desiring is infinity. He is trying to make the ego infinite, which is impossible. Then what is the way of gaining infinity? You are already infinite. You are already Satchidananda Swarupa. You don't have to become infinite. You have to just know that you are already infinite. Now what is this person trying to do? He is not trying to know himself. He is identified with the body, mind, intellect. He is in the ignorance state. He thinks he is the BMI, and now he is trying to perfect the BMI, expand the BMI in order to gain happiness. The scriptures say that is not the right way. Expanding the BMI, perfecting the BMI is not the right way. Disidentifying from the BMI and knowing oneself to be pure consciousness, that is the way. Consciousness is already Sat Chit Anand. It is infinite, it is immortal, it is bliss absolute, it is already perfect. Now this person is trying to expand the ego, and any ego, how much ever you expand, will remain limited. It cannot be unlimited. So therefore, this Bhavasagara continues. Ambitions continue. There is no end. It is said even Indra is not happy with his Indra Padavi. Nobody can be happy, because as long as you are a Jiva, as long as Jiva Bhava continues, limitations will continue, imperfections will continue, and therefore it can never give us happiness. So these people, they remain ambitious, they go from one body to another, one world to another, and they ever remain unhappy, unfulfilled. That's why Mundaka Upanishad beautifully says, Dvasuparna sayuja sakhaya samanam vriksham parishasvajate tayoranyah pippalam swadu atti anashnan anyo abhichakashiti samane vrikshe purusho nimagnah Anishaya shochati mukhyamanaha jushtam yada pasyatyanyamisham asya mahimanam iti vitashokaha. There's a beautiful simile given in Mundaka Upanishad. Two birds perched on the same tree, similar birds, very close to each other. One bird is sitting on the top, the other at the bottom. The bird which is sitting on the bottom branch is eating all the fruits of the tree. The bird which is sitting on the higher branch, it is just witnessing. The bird which is seated below is miserable, experiences limitation. But when its attention goes to the bird which is sitting on the higher branch, all its sorrows vanish. Vitashoka. This is what the words say. So who is this bird? So the bird which is sitting at the lower branch is none other than the Jivatma, the ego. And the bird which is sitting on the higher branch is none other than Paramatma. So as long as Jiva Bhava continues, what is his condition? Anishaya shochati mukhyamanaha, totally deluded, sorrowing. Because there is no power, Anishaya, he is powerless, he is limited. Every now and then the limitations of the BMI prick him. But when his attention goes to that higher bird, he comes to know, array, this BMI, it is not me. I am the observer of the BMI. I am the witnessing consciousness which is already perfect. All his sorrows vanish. So therefore, the solution to our misery is disidentifying from the BMI. Solution to our misery is putting an end to Jiva Bhava, the ego sense in us. As long as this is not done, our misery continues. And such a person expresses his ignorance through various ways. One such way is ambition, desires, lot of desires. Now I am not happy, maybe in the future, after fulfilling a particular ambition, I will be happy. So this way, he goes from one world to another with various kinds of thoughts. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tameveti konteya sada tad bhava bhavitah. Bhagavan says such a person can never remember me at the time of death. At the time of death, what will he remember? What kind of thoughts will pass through his mind? The thoughts regarding his ambitions, his desires. At the time of death, he will be filled with his unfulfilled ambitions and desires. These desires decide his next birth. So, from birth to birth, from body to body, from world to world, he is tossed up and down. Alexander the Great, he had an ambition. His ambition was, I must conquer the whole world. A very big ambition. So one day he happened to meet Diogenes, the great yogi. The great yogi who always would remain naked. So he was lying down on the bank of river. Alexander, he came there. And when he saw Diogenes totally relaxed, peaceful, lying down, he became very sad. He went to Diogenes and said, a day will come when I will also relax like you. I will also lie down and rest in peace like you. Once my ambitions are fulfilled, once my ambition of conquering the whole world, once that is fulfilled, I will also come and relax. Diogenes laughed. He said, why do you have to put such a difficult condition to relax? Why can't you just drop your ambition and come down right now and relax with me? Why do you want to say, I will conquer the world and then come? Why can't you do it right now? How foolish it is, because there is no guarantee that you will be able to conquer the world. After all, your goal is to relax, isn't it? The final thing which you want to achieve is to relax, is to attain peace. Why can't you do it right now? Alexander said, it is not possible because my ambitions will not allow me to lie down in peace. Diogenes laughed. Maybe he laughed thinking that this person is called Alexander the Great. He should have been called Alexander the Fool. In what way he is great? His own mind is not under his control. He is tossed up and down by his ambitions. In what way he is great? Anyway, it is said Alexander left the place, promising to return, but he never could return. Nor could he conquer the world also. By the age of, I think, 32 or something, he passed away. When you have so many ambitions, you try to fulfill these ambitions. This is what happens when we don't surrender unto God. We are so deluded by our ambitions. And these people, they can never be happy. A person who doesn't surrender can never be happy. All the scriptures, all the Mahatmas are unanimous in this. Mahmud Ghazni, you must have heard his name. 17 times or so he attacked, I think, Somanath temple, looted billions and billions of rupees worth gold and jewelry he looted from the temples. His life was full of violence, greed and lust. He murdered, kidnapped, looted, plundered. This was his life. And it is said at the time of death, when he was lying down, he was so miserable. His mind did not know what peace is. He was so disturbed because so many innocent people he had killed in order to become rich, in order to amass wealth. All those guilty feelings were literally eating him from within. He was so disturbed. So it is said at the time of death, he called his near and dear ones and said, "My life is my message." What message? How not to live. My life is my message. Never live the way I have lived. Just look at the contrast. Mahatma Gandhi also said, "My life is my message. Live the way I have lived, you will definitely attain peace of mind." This is Mahatma Gandhi's words. This person also tells the same thing. Never live the way in which I have lived, because you will never have peace of mind. And it is said, he has asked his ministers to put both his hands outside the coffin while they take him to bury. He said, "Let the world know that whatever I have looted, I could not take it with me. Let the world know that nothing you can take with you." So in this way, miserably, this Ghazni died. Same is the case with a famous thinker, French philosopher also, Voltaire. It is said in his deathbed, he was so miserable. He did not have faith in God. He was considered to be a great thinker, a philosopher, etc. He was so famous, his books were prescribed in the syllabus for the university students. At the time of his death, best doctors were around him. He was admitted to the best hospital. But none of these things could give peace to him. It is said he used to cry, "Save me, save me. I see only darkness. Somebody save me." Nobody could save. That solace, that strength, the courage, nobody could give him. In sharp contrast, next to his room was a small girl, 12 years of age or so. Very cheerful, suffering from cancer. And she knew that within few days she is going to die. But very, very cheerful. Doctors were amazed. When the doctors used to come to her room, she would say, "Good morning, doctor, how are you?" So cheerful she was, always smiling. So one day, one of the doctors asked, "Dear one, how is it that you are able to be so cheerful, even though you know that after a few days you will not be there on this planet?" That little girl said, "Why should I worry? My beloved God is there to take care of me. Whenever I close my eyes, I find my Bhagavan with me. With outstretched hand, the Lord is waiting there, saying that, 'Dear one, come, I am waiting for you.'" So when my most beloved Lord is waiting for me, why should I grieve? I am going to Him. He is going to be my company forever. So why should I grieve? See the difference. See the difference between the one who has surrendered and one who has not. Just like there is art of living, in the same way we have art of dying also. How beautifully you die, how cheerfully you die, How easily you are able to welcome death. A person who has not surrendered, a person who has no faith in God, a person who lives an egoistic life, he can never have peace of mind. Because death is nothing but the death of ego. And he has no solution. Throughout his life, he has done only one thing, pampering the ego. Death is one thing which punctures the ego. What can you do? They have no solution. Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukran karane. All your worldly achievements will not help at the time of death. Look at Taponji Maharaj, how cheerfully he welcomed death. Puja Gurudev wanted to treat Taponji Maharaj in the best hospitals in Delhi. He wanted Taponji Maharaj to come down from the Himalayas. At that time, Taponji Maharaj said, Chinmaya, why should I extend my stay in this cage of flesh and bones? The Lord has been waiting for the last some 70 years. Why should I make him wait longer? This was the answer of Taponji Maharaj. According to him, this body is a cage of flesh and bones. In cage, what is your condition? You are like imprisoned. It's a jail, it's a prison. For them, death is getting freed from prison. It is freedom for them. See the difference. Andrew Carnegie, richest man of his times, when he was in the deathbed, again the same condition, miserable. Somebody came and asked, Sir, you must be a really contented man because you have achieved the greatest, richest man in the world. So you must be having real sense of fulfillment. That you are dying as the richest person. He said, on the other hand, I am the most miserable person. Everything I have to leave. There is nothing which is giving me peace and solace. My heart is empty. I am not knowing the joy of heart. This is what he said. The thing called joy of heart, I am not able to experience. Miserable. That's why in Tulsi Ramayana, it is beautifully said. It is possible that hairs may grow on the shell of a tortoise. It is possible that flowers may blossom in the sky. It may be possible that a barren woman's son may kill somebody. It is possible that fire may appear in the eyes. It is possible that you squeeze sand and oil may come out. It is possible that darkness may destroy the sun. It is possible that a rabbit may grow horns. It is possible that you may quench your thirst with mirage waters. But it is impossible that you turn away from God and you become happy. It is impossible. Whatever said earlier, everything is impossible. Tulsidas ji says, maybe that is possible, but ignoring God, disregarding God, disbelieving in God, it is impossible to be happy. So what happens to those who don't have faith, who don't surrender? Their lot is only one: misery, misery and misery. They may not be sensitive to it, but the fact remains a fact. So therefore, we must surrender for our own welfare. Now, another question. Is Bhagavan really concerned about our welfare? This question comes when we see so much of suffering in the world. Is Bhagavan really concerned about our welfare? Because very many times in scriptures it is written, Bhagavan is udasina. Udasinavad asina. Udasina means indifferent. He doesn't bother. So really, is Bhagavan concerned about our upliftment, about our evolution, about our welfare? So this has to be very clearly understood. In the scriptures, we speak about Nirguna Brahman. This is from absolute standpoint. From the absolute standpoint, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman alone exists. The whole world is an illusion, a mithya, an appearance. So from the standpoint of absolute, we speak of Nirguna Brahman. Brahman is Nirguna, attributeless. So for such a Brahman, not associated with world, such a Brahman we can say he is Udasina because there is no world. He is indifferent. But very same Brahman, associated with the power of Maya, when he creates the world, when he becomes a creator of the world, then he is called Saguna Brahman, Lord with attributes. Such a Bhagavan who is called as Ishvara, you cannot say he is not concerned, he is very much concerned. This understanding we must have. He is very much concerned about his creation. That's why he says, Pitahamasya Jagato Mata Dhata, I am the father and mother of this universe. So just like father and mother is very much concerned about their children, in the same way I am concerned about the whole creation. So don't say Bhagavan is indifferent. If you say Bhagavan is indifferent, you will not be able to love that Bhagavan. Devotion is nothing but love. That love comes when we know how much Bhagavan loves us. The first step is not me loving Bhagavan. The first step is knowing how much Bhagavan loves us. His love for us is infinite. His love for us is unconditional. So if at all we have to experience perfect love, we can experience only from Bhagavan. Just like how a mother is concerned about her child, in the same way Bhagavan is concerned about us. How much is a mother concerned about the child? Very many of us are mothers, so you must be knowing. In nature, we see this. How much a mother is concerned about her newborn child. She gives up everything for the sake of the child. Whole night, she is ready to remain awake if the child is not well. She feeds the child, and now and then the child dirties itself. This mother never feels tired or bored or fed up cleaning the child, taking care of the child. It's amazing. The power of love is amazing. Here is a lady working 24/7, day after day, taking care of the child, and she is not tired. In fact, she finds great joy in taking care of the child. It's amazing. And all the time, whatever she may be doing, she may be in the kitchen, cooking, but one part of the mind is always occupied on the baby lying down in the cradle. The child moves here or there, her attention is there, because the child may put anything in the mouth. Dangerous. So all the time alert, vigilant. Not only about this mother, humanly mother, even in birds and animals, you will see this motherly love. Thanks to this technology, now we are aware of what all things are happening in wildlife, in jungles, in forests. How beautiful videos they show. The mother buffalo is ready to fight lions and tigers, a pack of hyenas, in order to protect her little one. See that. See the courage. She is ready to sacrifice herself for the welfare of her child. Who has planted that love for her child in her heart? It is Bhagavan. That's why our scriptures say, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matrarupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. My prostration unto all beings who are expressing this motherly love. They deserve worship, they deserve our prostration. Because that expression of motherly love is not worldly, it is divine. Whether in the animal kingdom or human kingdom, wherever we see that expression of motherly love, we should bow down, because that love comes from the divine. It may express as worldly love, but it is rooted in divine love. It is the divine mother who is giving that love to all the worldly mothers. So all of them are respect worthy, prostration worthy. So just like a mother is concerned about her child, all the time thinking of her child, in the same way, Bhagavan is also concerned about each and every one of us. There's a beautiful saying of Saint Augustine. He says, the Lord loves each one of us as though we are His only child. How does a mother love her only child? Why only child? That means her love is not divided. Single pointed, undivided love. So how a mother would love her only child, in the same way the Lord loves each one of us. Meaning His total love, infinite love, unconditional love is all the time blessing us, gracing us. A Mahatma was giving a discourse on Bhagavadgeeta. So he was discussing Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Bhagavan takes care of the welfare and well-being of his devotees. He was expounding that verse. At that time, after the talk, a mother came along with a small baby. She said, Swamiji, all this appear to be fine, but in my life, I don't think such a thing is happening. I don't think the Lord is taking care of me. My family life is a total flop. My husband is a drunkard. He drinks and comes and beats me. My mother-in-law is totally hostile to me. So it's a pain. And you say the Lord takes care. I don't think it is happening. I am suffering. That Mahatma paused for a while and said, Amma, you really want to know the answer? Yes, Swamiji, I want to know the answer. That's why I have come. Okay, I will give you the answer, provided that baby which you are holding, drop the baby. That woman was shocked. What is this person saying? Drop the baby? Maybe I have not heard it properly. She stared at that Swamiji to get clarification. Swamiji said, yes, what you heard is right. Drop the baby. I will give you the answer. She said, Swamiji, what are you saying? Are you in your senses? How can I drop this baby? He'll be hurt. I'm its mother. Swamiji said, so just imagine so much of love you have for your baby. If a worldly mother like you have so much of love for your baby, how much love must the Divine Mother who has created you must have towards you? Just like you love your baby, in the same way, the Lord who has created this world loves His creation also. In fact, this love which you experience is not your love, it is implanted by Him into you. And therefore you experience this love towards your child. So what you should do exactly what your child is doing. Your child has totally surrendered unto you. The child knows only one thing, I have my mother, I need to surrender only to my mother. I know, and therefore the child is the happiest one in this world. In the same way, learn the lesson from your own child. Just like the child has surrendered unto you, you surrender unto Bhagavan. That's all what has to be done. What has to be done? That's all what is needed. You surrender, then and there the peace will be yours. Bhagavan's love for us is infinite and unconditional. Is He concerned? He is very much concerned. He is never indifferent. His love is unconditional to such an extent that even an atheist He loves. He even loves unconditionally even those people who don't believe in His existence. Yes, an atheist may not believe in God, but God knows that this fellow is also my child. Atheist may not know that God is my creator, but God knows that He is my creation. So even an atheist, Bhagavan loves unconditionally. But Bhagavan becomes helpless because he doesn't allow Bhagavan to enter into his life. Therefore he is miserable. He is miserable not because Bhagavan is cruel, heartless, indifferent. No, he is miserable because he is not allowing Lord to enter into his life. Bhagavan's love continues to flow even towards an atheist. There's a beautiful story. I'm sure you must have heard. So a devotee, he hears a knock at the door in the night. He opens the door and he finds an old man, 90 years. He says, "Sir, for the last 2 days I have not eaten anything. I am very hungry, I am very tired. Can you just give me something to eat?" So the devotee said, "Please come, please come. You are most welcome." He was made to sit. Food was served. And then just before taking food, the devotee said, "Let us first pray and then we'll have food." Well, he was praying, but the old man was not very interested. So the devotee said, "How come you are not praying?" So this old man said, "I don't believe in God. I am thankful to you because you have given me food, but I am not thankful to God because I have suffered so much in life. I don't think there exists something called God." Well, slowly the discussion started taking the turn of an argument, heated argument. And the devotee was so irritated with this man. He could not control himself. Anger took possession of him and he just pushed the old man out without allowing him to eat. Cold night, wintry night, he pushed him out. When he came inside, closed the door and he came inside. After a few minutes, his mind settled down. Anger vanished. At that time, he hears the voice of God. The Lord said, "Dear child, what you have done is wrong. It is not right." He tried to argue. "Bhagavan, he doesn't believe in you. He was abusing you." The Lord said, "My dear child, for 90 years I have been feeding him. You would not feed him even once. For 90 years I have been feeding him. You could not feed him even once. This is the love of Bhagavan. He doesn't bother whether you believe in him or not. He will take care of him. He will take care of everyone. The basic minimum needs are taken care. Food, water, shelter. That is the love of Bhagavan. Bhagavan's love for us, Bhagavan's concern for us is just like a mother's concern for her child. And maybe that is why we are all made to go through this family life drama. Maybe. In this family life drama, we are born to our parents. We receive the love of our parents. So therefore, we know or we can imagine what love of God must be. So first we receive love from our parents and then gradually we become parents and start giving love to our children. So the whole of this family life is nothing but receiving love and giving love. It appears as though Bhagavan wants us to train in worldly love before we can understand what is divine love. So we are made to experience a grosser love first and then we are exposed to subtler love. Once we know what is worldly love, we become fit enough to understand divine love. Maybe that is the reason why this family life drama is enacted. As far as a child is concerned, suppose the child has a problem. Where should the child go? The best way to get the problem solved is go to the mother or father, isn't it? The best person to solve my problem as a child is my mother or father. I get the best solution. And I have all the right to go to my mother or father. It's my birthright. In fact, if I don't go, mother will scold me. When I am here, why should you go here or there, to the neighbor, etc.? Whatever problems you have, you should come to me. In the same way, what is the best way to solve all our problems? The best way is Bhagavan. He knows all our past. The entire case history is there with him. So the best solution comes only from the Lord because He is omniscient. He is my creator. He knows everything about me. So therefore the best thing is to take my problems to Him. But suppose I don't have faith in Him. I don't surrender to Him. Who is the loser? I am the loser. When I don't take my problems to Him, He becomes helpless. He can't help me. So all my sufferings in life is not because He is not concerned about my welfare. No. All my sufferings in life is because I don't have faith in Him. I don't take my problems to Him. I don't surrender to Him. All these assurances in Bhagavadgeeta is, come to me, surrender unto me, bring your problems to me. I am here. Why are you going here and there when I am here? And once you come to me, all your problems, I will find the best solution. I will give peace of mind to you. I will strengthen you. I will guide you. When I am here, why do you have to go here and there? When I am here, why fear? All the assurances in Bhagavad Gita is nothing but this. Come to me. Don't go anywhere. Right. Now we will go to another topic, a very important topic. And what is that topic? How to practice surrender in daily life. How to practice surrender in daily life. What are the tips? So there is a beautiful verse. That verse gives us certain guidelines as to what we should do in this process of surrendering. What are the aspects we have to take care? So there are around 6 aspects. There's a beautiful verse. Anukulyasya sankalpah pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyati vishwasah goptritva varanam tatha atmanikshepakarpanye shadvidha sharanagatihi. So what are the 6 aspects? Shadvidha sharanagatihi. What are the 6 aspects we have to keep in mind when we surrender unto the Lord? So this is the topic which you are going to discuss. How to practice surrender in day-to-day life. Because surrender is the most important thing. So we must know how to surrender. Surrendering is not just falling at the feet of the Lord. That is very easy. But real surrender means what? How to practice it. So this is what we are going to see now. Time is already up. We will see this topic in detail tomorrow. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhi.
गोविन्द हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला